What's going on, guys? It's Corey Vanderplu at Corey Photo on Twitter and Instagram. I want to do a couple portfolio reviews today. Your website or your Instagram or whatever you dropped in the comments. The main reason I want to do this today is I'm seeing a lot of photo editors at magazines trying to charge to do website reviews, which I think is ridiculous. If they want the new and upcoming talent, I think it's insane that they're charging, but this is what people are doing now. Everyone's trying to make a buck. But I figured I've done so many of these that I would just share some knowledge that I got and translate it onto your own website. So I'm actually going to start with my website, and I wish this clicked into my portfolio, which is actually pretty cool. It's just a splash image. I've realized most of the clicks, the bounce rate is already gone. People are already going to leave my website, but they have to go to one click to go to my portfolio so they can see all the thumbnails. Ideally, I would love if I could just have one image up here, but I love the big image. I'm a big fan of a huge image. You can also use the arrow keys, which is nice because a lot of people do that. This is also modified for the phone, but then you go into this is just kind of an overview, which I kind of like. Nice and clean, nice and simple. I'm such a big fan of simplicity. It's all my commission work. I feel like this isn't colorful enough. I could add some color to it. Seems a little bland, but this is a nice overview. I like that there's an overview going into here, but I feel like maybe I get one image, so I don't always have to do the two up. I mean, this is from my background of shooting for magazines, so this is kind of where I came. I've had this design for about 10 years, and you know, it served me well. I don't really want to change it, just slight tweaks to make it better and better. I like the embedded videos are really cool. Let's see the about me. Very simple. Client list. Don't need to know anything about me. Cool grammatical error right there. Contact is very simple, very minimal. I love minimal. I love trying to keep it as simple as possible. And then these external links open up to a new link, which is great. Yeah, you got the Instagram up here, keeping it fresh. But yeah, that's it. So a couple tweaks, nothing crazy, but now let's jump into everyone else's. Dan Whitehead, thanks for dropping a line here. So instantly, I feel like this isn't the cleanest setup. I love that I immediately want to click here, immediately want to hit the portraits. This is very cool. But from a design layout, this doesn't scream high end. But let's look at the work. Work's very cool. I like that you do the portraits. This is a cool one of Marilyn Monroe. I feel like there's some weak work here. I feel like some stuff's very strong. Like this is strong. This is strong. This is strong. This isn't so strong. This looks very stylized. You took your time to create a concept. The lighting is on point, and this looks like it could have just been taken anywhere. So you can see that there are levels here. This color's not the best, but it sticks out. I don't know if it sticks out in a good way. This is very strong. What happens when you click it? Ooh, interesting. It's just a big high-res photo. So what you want to do is save for web, and that way you'll get the loading time right down, unless it loaded this whole thing, because these seem to be loading really quick. I like this. I like the big photo. Big fan of it. But I think you have too many photos here, especially all this. It just kind of all gets lost. I feel like, look how many images there are. I feel like this doesn't quite fit. I feel like there's a bit of a disconnect in terms of a thematic. I feel like you should have 15 strong images here. You can weed out the kind of okay ones. Like, keep it. Keep it. Look how well lit this is. Beautiful. Keep it. This is very cool. Keep it. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's a lot of weak stuff in here, and I really want you to trim the fat. Just put your best photos first. Let's look at some other stuff. Oh, he does video production. Look at this demo reel. I love how it just all plays in here. So when I was in film school, one of the first things I was taught was to not have any lyrics in your demo reel. Personal preference, but it takes you away from the visual. It's just a nice, clean instrumental. I feel like this could be faster paced, show some more stuff, but definitely know your editing work. So what happens when I push this? And we have to go right back. So what other stuff do you have? Only portraits and production stills. Production stills are cool. It's a weird that it's a different layout and different fonts. I would love this to be cleaner. Just making it all very uniform so it doesn't stand out so odd, but these are great. I feel like you could make this very tight and clean. I mean, if you can shoot 10 really good production stills, then I think people will get the point, because these are all just kind of being in the moment, really knowing how to not get in the way, and it's like a composition test. But I think your portraits should be on the forefront, and I think that you can really tighten this up. Just really focus on the best of the best. Try and get it down to 15. What else you got? Let's see your about section. I love this. Very cool. I'm never a big fan of the forms. Again, strip it down, make it more simple. I would love if this was gone, contact right here, and maybe just work on a cleaner, more simple layout, because you don't want it to distract from your work at all. Quick look at your Instagram. Instagram is where you can really pump the work out. This is where people who like you can see you constantly up to date. I like this. This is like a nice, cleaner layout than your website, but I think you just need to really narrow it down and maybe start with a big image. All right. Thank you so much, Dan Whitehead. Let's go to Stephen Obisanya. Hope I pronounced that right. So this work is very cool, starting with an exhibition. I already just assumed now he's more of an artist than he is a skilled tradesman like I consider myself. Let's go to the latest. Very cool. Just forces you into one topic. Now, one thing, I used to do this with my website. One thing is a lot of photo editors just don't give you this many clicks to go through it all. So if I go latest, they'll see 1, 2, and they've lost you. So I think it's about having some sort of impact to get the most amount of work in front of you. I'm always thinking of like a photo editor, because these are the people that review my websites. These are the people that hire you. I like the stories. I like this, kind of has a book feel. I think you do need like an overview, almost like somewhere where I can see all the thumbnails. I mean, you just have to, I feel like every photo editor I've ever worked with just wants to see all of it at once, kind of like an Instagram. I feel like the Instagram format has ruined people for looking at websites. But if I really want to slow it down, like, you have some fantastic work, but I would love to see some thumbnails here or something. I love the size of your images. I just think I need to see more faster. And that's a critique I got a lot from photo editors or art buyers or agents. This is cool. Photo studio. I like that you have, like, this is cool. A version of this. It's like you live updated your website as I was critiquing it. The portrait, the photos, the process. It's all very cool. Making your own money on the side. I love it. You got a podcast. I like this setup. Ooh, did I lose you? I lost your website now. You should make this Artisans in Trade a new pop-up, so it opens in a new window, so it does something like this. Much easier. Now they don't lose your website. News is cool. I love this. There's no dates. It's almost like a blog. Your website's fantastic. Got good info. I like how you did the exhibitions here. I wish you could click it. One of my favorite photographers and one of the weirdest and most simple websites is Hedi Slimane. You go to his diary, but I like his exhibition sections here. You can see how when you hover it, it goes right into it. I mean, don't take this idea, but I love that you can click and then see the exhibition right then and there. If you could do something similar so I could see that, I think that would be fantastic. Let people see the exhibitions you've been doing. Great self-portrait and a great little website. I think it's fantastic. And I assume this changes with new work whenever it comes available. But yeah, let me see those galleries. Let me see some thumbnails. Fantastic website, Steven. Johan Naftali doesn't have a website, so let's check him out on Instagram. This is what's great about Instagram. If you don't have a website, it allows you to, you know, kind of have a portfolio that is nice and clean. So I love this stuff. Oh, so fantastic down here. I feel like I don't want to see any of this. I don't want to see any of these, especially if you don't have a job. I don't really care to see behind the scenes. Maybe make a behind the scenes Instagram, call Johan Naftali BTS or something like that, and then add those to your tagged photos. So when people click tag, then they can see the behind the scenes. Because as cool as this stuff is, this is infinitely better. Bold, clean, sharp. I love this work. Your work is fantastic. You need a website ASAP. I love the bold structure of it. But again, since you don't have a website, maybe you don't want to have 15 images. Maybe tighten all of this up. So have all of these together with this as the main thumbnail and all of these in your carousel, all of these cool little themes. But your work is great. I just think you don't need this stuff. I mean, if you want to do kind of a lifestyle and a brand, but if this is just your portfolio, keep it tight. Just look at my Instagram. It's very tight. I want it to look like a portfolio itself. Just tighten it up. But I love this stuff, dude. Like, so good. Well played. Like, how simple is that? It's so graphic and bold. You gotta follow. So fantastic. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. What's we got? Jonas Huck. Let's take a look at his website. So this is great. It gives you a nice overview of everything. Because I said most editors, let's go with English. Most editors will only give you, won't even give you a click. Sometimes they'll just do this and they're done. So I don't know if you've already done this, but you can do it again. You can tighten this up. I don't think this image here, which is taking up so much real estate, is very nice. I would love to hang this on my wall. It's a beautiful art piece. But this takes up a ton of real estate, and I don't think it's your strongest image. I love this. This is cool. But like if you did something like this one, this one's cool. So is this. Fantastic light. These are great. And just tighten it up. Your work is good. You have a very clean eye, and I love the website, how basic and clean this is. It's very satisfying. But now let's look at the rest of your work. So this is your main page. Gallery, commissions. Got a lot of stuff here. So travel. I'm assuming you're a travel photographer first. Only 4 images. Interesting. Let's look at the rest. And this is cool. These are kind of stories. I feel like this could be a little cleaner. Maybe go 1, 2, 3, 4 thumbnails that are bigger than this, so it stands out like a story. Let's look at. These are great. When it's in, like, I feel like the formatting could be a lot better. This isn't the cleanest. There's a lot of wasted space. It doesn't look like it's been designed at all. A lot of space in between. But the photos are great, and I love that you have these little series. I think portraiture should be at the top. You only have 4 photos for travel. I don't think that should be your main category, especially when landscape and portrait have so many. Landscape work is good. I feel like you needed to shoot a lot more. This is very cool. And don't take it personally by saying you need to shoot more. I tell myself that every day. This is very cool as well. Got some cool stuff. What's we got? Point and shoot. I like that this is kind of like your personal work. Do you have a personal work? I like this. Point and shoot, personal work, same thing. You'd be surprised how much this turns into jobs. All your personal work turns into. You got all your socials down here. Let's check out your YouTube. Oh, no content yet. Maybe lose the YouTube until you get some content going up there. Let's see your Instagram. Your Instagram's cool. I like the mix of it. Very nice. But yeah, going back to this, I think you should lose the travel until you get some more populated photos there, or just move it down the line. I think you should just lose it until you get more populated photos. What's under events? These are cool. Is this event photography? I gotta go to English here. Yeah, the event photography is cool. I just don't think a lot of people will be looking at this kind of stuff. It's nice if people are looking for an event photographer, but I feel like you don't need this. Anyone hiring you for an event photography is generally going to reach out to you. They're not going to find you through a website. It's photo editors, art buyers, people who work at agencies, creative directors. It's these people who are looking at your website, so you need to focus on them. This is kind of cool how this works. Right to the edge. How does it work when you... Oh. And it goes down. That's a very cool formatting. I like it. Commissions. Fuck fast fashion. These are cool layouts, but again, I think you need to really strip this down. Make it a lot less. If it just said work, commissions, info, blog, I don't think you need events. You could have an events section under commissions and really trim that down. It's a blog like. Oh yeah, we already went here. That's info. I think this is too much. Strip it down, 2 to 3 sentences. Audio engineer. Oh, cool. Where's your audio engineer work? I don't think you should say audio engineer unless you have some work to show. Just say photographer. Lifestyle's fine. But I think you should lose audio engineer unless you have some work to show for it. And maybe have a client list, some clients you've worked for. Really pump yourself up and make yourself look as good as possible. All right, thanks guys. Let's go on to the next one. Thank you, Jonas Huck. On to the next. Erik Kolics. Ooh, a splash page. What's happening? I haven't clicked yet. Just repeats until you click. Like I said, most people lose interest before one click. If you have Google Analytics, check your bounce rate. Your bounce rate is a single page session divided by all sessions, or the percentage of session on your website which viewers only viewed a single page and triggered only a single request to the analytics server. So this, someone could click this and go, I'm out, and go to something else. You waste a click going in there. I don't think you should do that. I think you should start right from here. What is the benefit of having this name here? The bounce rate, if you have analytics, check it out. If it's 30%, then that means 30% of the people didn't even click through here, which is heartbreaking. But your work is great. So, well played, sir. Fantastic work. Oh, and look, it's nice and short. We got 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16, 17 images. Under 20 images is fantastic. Why does this have words on it? I would maybe lose Anna. There's no other text on here. I don't understand why it says Anna. Maybe that's her. Doesn't say it for anyone else. I just think you don't need that. Make this all about your images. Let's look at, let's enter. Oh. Yeah, don't need that. I think you could lose enter. Just start from right here. Work. Okay, so interesting. Portfolio. So I think your main page should just go to work. You see the first link I wanted to click, I'd probably dip out if I was a photo editor now. So I saw these images, I'm out. So maybe work should be different. If you have more than 20 images, make work different, or change it to portraits, or change it to just fashion and then have that. I just think it should be different. Like for example, 1, 2, I see all your images. 3, that counts as a click, a hover. 4, took 4 clicks and I've really got nowhere. That's just wasted energy. I know this sounds silly, like people are just gonna click once and leave, but it's heartbreaking once you get Google Analytics and you see that publish work. See, this publish work is great. You got some cool magazine covers. Maybe put this here. Lose enter. Publish work goes here because people want to click this first, and I feel like they want to see something different. If they're gonna click to see more, they should see more. Let's see what your contact is. Contact. A lot of photo editors won't fill out a send message. If someone wants to hire you right away and they see this, most of the time they'll dip out. You should have an email. Make this optional. I personally hate filling these things out. You never know if they work, and it's just nicer to have an email in your inbox. LinkedIn is cool. I think you should be putting just as much effort into your LinkedIn as you are your Instagram. About Erik. This is cool. But like, you can go about and contact, make it the same thing, and then just have an email right here. Nice and simple. An email and a client list. And now you get down to portfolio, publish work, contact, prints. 4, nice and clean. Keep it under Erik. And it just simplifies your website. I think you should lose prints as well until you have it up and running. This is cool again, but motion, I think you should have more. You only have a 121-second clip. It doesn't really show your motion work. So I think you lose that, or really start pumping out some more work. Have a true demo reel. All right, thanks, Erik. Appreciate your contribution to this channel. Luke Sartor. Thank you for the kind words, Luke. Let's check out your website. Oh, I love this. Don't like this. I think you should save these for another click. Make me click into your website and then do it. I love how big these photos are. Scalable, I'm assuming. Yeah. This is very clean. Very high-end design. And I love how simple this is. These are great images too. I'm assuming you are a sport photographer, event photographer, and then you got a Ray-Ban ad here. So let's take a look in your portfolio. I'm really a big fan of where this started. This is cool work. I wouldn't really consider these. Oh no, this is portfolio. So this is kind of like an overview. The work's great, but some of it is so strong. The stuff we saw at the beginning was so strong. I mean, this Ray-Ban image is so clean and great that it doesn't deserve to be here with this. So I guess you just need to shoot more. There's no way that this and this are on the same caliber. There's no way this, which almost looks kind of like a fly on the wall, could have been taken with your cell phone. And this is so clean. So you just gotta shoot more stuff like this. Maybe categorize them different, because there's no way that portraiture and what do you do? It looks like you're more of an event photographer with some lifestyle and, classic portraiture. This looks like cool advertising work. You should do more of this. I like the little grain here. This could be a little snappier. It looks a little flat compared to this white background, but I'm not here to critique your images. I just think you should lean more into this. I feel like you're developing a style here and then kind of drift away from this. If this is your bread and butter, this is where you're making all your money, then definitely keep it. But I think, what's editorial? Editorial is more like women. Were these actual editorials? I think if editorials is more like stories. But this is very cool stuff. Should be more, lose this guy and lose this guy. This should be more women than anything. You shoot women really well, but I feel like you should mix some of this editorial stuff in with your portfolio. A lot of stuff in here is infinitely stronger than your portfolio stuff. Like, that's fantastic. Nudity's tough this day and age. Fantastic. This is great. Mix some of these into your portfolio, because some of these images, some of your best stuff here. I just think you should do a better job of categorizing and putting your best foot forward. It's Immortals. For Immortals. This is where that pop-up should do when you click this. Print store. I love that you're selling prints. Very clean. I love it. Let's see what your contact is. See, this is great. This is what I said before. This should be a link so I can click it, and then it goes right into an email. Just show you my website quick. Contact at Corey Vanderploeg, open mail. We're there. It should be that easy. So good start. Great work. About Luke. Cool image. I got one very similar. Well played, Luke. Well played. I like this. Good website. You can always combine these. I don't, but I think your work's fantastic. You just gotta work more on putting your best foot forward. I love your opening website. It's very, very good. I mean, your opening splash page. Just think portfolio. Let's mix some of the women in here. Put the best images up here for these like 10. All right, thanks, Luke. Thomas Ruhland, always contributing to this channel. Thank you very much, Thomas, for your great contributions. Let's take a look at your website. Light is writing your story. That's cool. I don't think you need a tagline like this or even a welcome page. Let your images do it. I like that it's cycling through. There's only 2 images though. Are you a still life photographer? Are you a portrait photographer? I feel like if you're a portrait photographer and you're putting still life first, that's a bit of an issue. Again, put your best foot forward. Let's call me. Open Skype. Wild. I like the boldness of that. But I think you should just say enter, call me, or even ditch the splash page. Start your website right here. And then you're, again, the bounce rate, you're losing click. Is this you? He made the top of his website. He did. Self-portrait makes it #1. Oh. I think when you click here, this should not go back to the splash page. I think it should go back to this. This is the main body of work. So my main critique here is these all look very similar. I think you need to balance it out. You got some cool car stuff. Platon, one of my mentors, always used to say, make it exactly the same or completely different. And I love that rule. So maybe you have this here, then you have a car wheel, then you have him. Just make it as big of a variety as you can, especially for this splash page. These 10 images should be as different as possible. Show me as much as you can, and then let me click into it. And then if there's more, I can do that. I don't think, ooh, interesting here. I don't know how I got here, but I should fix into that. How did I do that? I don't know how I got into that Squarespace theme, but look into that. I also, ooh, it's be pushing escape. Okay, so if I go back, oops. So if I go back to your website here, I don't think you should have your watermark. There's a tweet I remember from way back in the day saying you're not good enough to watermark, and I think that's true. Unless you're sending low-res images to a client, you fear that they're just going to post those, and then you watermark. But I don't think you need this for your website. People know they're at your website here. You don't need it twice. But look, if I push escape, which I think is going to take me back to the next menu, it actually takes me to the login to the Squarespace. So I think you should figure out that. You can use arrows. So if you're using arrows to go through these photos, and then I push escape to exit that menu, I don't think it should show that. And that might be a Squarespace issue. Whoops, see, I keep doing it. I keep trying to go back and it keeps sending me to the front. Like, this is cool. This is cool. These are very different. I just think you can switch this stuff up. Timeless and authentic portrait. So this is like a sales thing. I don't think you're trying to do sales. If no one's coming here to look at your website, then they see that you have a sales page, and now they're gonna buy it. I feel like the turnover rate is very, very small. I think you just have to keep it clean. And this is kind of the same thing. I think you need to, yeah, this is all like a channel to sell your work. I feel like you need to shoot more, get a better grasp of your work, and then once you have that settled down, then start trying to find work. Personal projects. Because right now I think you should have a portfolio page that just has all of your images so people can see everything. I don't know how to get here, but this page, like an overview, a full backsplash of your main work, and then just do portfolio, personal projects, event coverage, done. That way, if you want event coverage, they can see it. But have all this contact stuff, get rid of it. Put it into your contact section. And have an email. Email is so much easier. If I was like, I need someone to work for me tomorrow, I don't have enough time, enter my info, and I push submit, I'm not gonna feel like my email went through. I just feel like that could get lost in the ether. Does this work? Does it go straight to him? Just give me an email. That way I can see people if I'm trying to actually hire you, and it's just much cleaner. I don't think you need the copyright notice. The best photographers in the world don't have that, so I don't think you need it either. So I think just when people go to Thomas Ruhland Photography, it should start here. Start here. Or have one big image, whatever your best image is. That way they can click portfolio and they can click personal projects. About, contact, done. Keep it nice and simple. All right, thanks, Thomas. Appreciate your help and always contributing to this website. Thank you very much. All right, Perel Love Music. Don't have a website yet, but let's look at their Instagram. Very cool Instagram. I see that you don't really have any personal work here. You just kind of have projects. One of my critiques, I said, unless you post a lot. Do you post a lot? 21 weeks, 19 weeks, 19 weeks, 12 weeks. So you don't post that often. Because you don't post that often, I think you should put all of these into carousels. That way they turn into little mini portfolios, little kind of binders, little booklets. All of these can be stuck into one, and then it condenses, especially if you don't have a website at the moment. You want them to see as much as you can in as little amount of time as possible. Perfect. No need to waste 4 spaces on this. But it looks like the same dude. You can mix some color. And then this will make you, what are the strongest images? How can I make my carousel stronger than ever rather than just posting up? Like, go a step above. These are great though. Like, your work's fantastic. You have great work. You just have to lay it out in a better manner. So it just comes off as stronger. But some of this stuff's great. Some of these are great standalones. Like these 3, so similar. This is the best one by far. So I think you can just kind of condense it, make more carousels, turn that 56 posts into maybe 20, and start very strong from there, and then start reaching out to shoot people's portraits. So thanks for contributing. This is one hell of. So what happens if I just do this? So you got to make your website start from here, because ain't nobody clicking this link. You send this to anyone, nobody's clicking that. That could be a phishing website. Just looks very sketchy, but let's go in. Aside from that, ooh, it's on the bottom. Very interesting. What happens when you click portraits? So this website is very first base, almost want to say low budget. The work's very cool, but I think you can get it a little bit cleaner. Websites aren't that crazy anymore. It looks like this is like a temporary website. It looks like it's your first crack at it. I think you did say that. First attempt at a website. Working for 2 years. So I think you just need to narrow your work down, pick out your favorites. And I see some hard loading. You might want to start saving for web. That just means the files are a little too big. You got sports. Sports stuff is cool, but it looks kind of like just simple event photography. Like this one stands out. This one stands out. That one stands out. Even clean this up. Get rid of this. Make this very simple. Like, there's ways you can make these much stronger, and there's just too many. You never want this. Save for web, save for web, save for web. Maybe you can narrow this down to like your best 10. What happens when I click this again? Landscapes. So when I go to your homepage is essentially landscapes. I think it should be an overview. So your portraits, I think you need to lose this. This is silly. I think this shouldn't be on the top. Although it is kind of like an exit through the gift store kind of vibe where you have to go to the bottom, look at all your work in order to see it all. So this is nice contact page. Maybe throw up a photo of yourself. But yeah, maybe throw this on the top. Make it a lot cleaner. Like this looks almost like Microsoft Word layout. Very basic. Your work is good. I just think you need to look at your favorite photographers. What did they do with their website? Take a page from their book and just make everything a bit tighter. Thanks for, if you have any more questions, reach out to me. Leave a comment below. I'm happy to, kind of critique you through every stage, every step of the way. All right, we only got a few left. Romain Laurent. Hope I said that. LaurentRomain.com. Let's check it out. Oh, I love this. It's fantastic. Start with the big one, and then you see some cool work down here. Portrait is cool. I like that your work is very simple, very stripped down. Personal work. I like that personal work is first too. Same critique I had with the last person is making it at the bottom, but maybe it is kind of cool that you have to sift through all. I love this. This is very cool. Your work's fantastic. I love the aesthetic of all of this. It all kind of fits really well. So your website's a bit quirky. It's a bit odd. Your photography's a bit odd, but in the best possible way. I love this, the simplicity of this. I would love this in my cabin. Maybe you want to change this kind of hover stuff. I don't like that. Maybe if you could either lose that or make it the title of your image, or even just say Laurent Romain, just for SEO, search engine optimization. I don't think anyone should see the file names. It's just kind of messy. But your work is fantastic. My darlings. Some repeat stuff here. I feel like you could condense it more. I think you should try to really aim for 4. Like personal work and visual diary, I'm sure could go together. Portrait and my darlings could go together. Interior, about. I think those 4 sections would be good. Make it a lot cleaner. It's this little video. I see a lot of warp stabilizer on here. That's just the filmmaker side of me. But cool video. Editing's nice. Trying to get that motion client, but I see a lot of warp stabilization. You can see that little jitter in the lens or in the frame. Let's see what else we got. This stuff's fantastic. It looks very like low-key 35mm, which I'm really into. And this is cool. I like the nude here about and your contacts right below. I like your website a lot. I really do. I just think it can be condensed. You can put your best foot forward and make this. I just don't like how uneven this is. If you could just have 4 along here, that'd be perfect. I love your opening page, your splash page. Now imagine how much neater it would be if 2 of these were gone and it was just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just have that. Boom. That's your website. It's so clean. Thanks for submitting. Your work's fantastic. What else we got? Bexx Francois. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Apologies if I didn't. Nobody gets my name right. Great. Look how much work there is. So overview page, just if you could narrow it down to like here. Woo, we got Hove slipping in the mix. Save for web, people. Save for web. If you did, ignore me. Maybe it's just my bad internet connection. Such a cool opening image. Cool opening image. Great opening image. What I said earlier is about making them very opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. That's really cool. I know this is a Jay-Z, but it's not the strongest image. Look for another one. Make it look like he hired you to be there, not you happen to be there. There's a big difference. Fantastic. I just feel like some of these you could cut. Cut this guy. Cut her. Cut. Great. Again, what are your strongest images? Go to your Instagram. What's getting the most likes? I know you shouldn't pander like that, but see what really floats to the top and make it stronger. You have like 15 incredibly strong images here. This is so good, so good. I just feel like if you condensed it and made your top 10, 15 pop up here, and people just saw this and just, wow, I gotta hire this person, that's the way to do it. First is Prince. I don't really like the watermark, but if you're selling prints, old left. Oh, these are cool. I like how you can go through them, but I don't think you should have the watermark. I really don't. How do I buy these prints as well? If these are prints, how do I buy them? It's cool that you can like, but maybe you should have a section so you can buy them. With my website, if you go to shopping and you go to prints, at least there's a way that you can add to a cart and start buying it, just very simply like that. This is more like some kind of a showroom. Do I have to email you for prints? I'm trying to straighten that out a little bit. Portraits. So even this is a lot stronger than your opening page. They're so different. Maybe you get Jada to the front. Byron's so dope. Like, these are such dope images. They're so good. This is insane. So good. But just try to, if you do make your main page tighter, I feel like you could use less images here. Like this portrait section is much closer to a landing page, I think, than your actual landing page. You almost show them too much. And then this is like, you've curated this in a way that is so good. Like, your images are so bold. Not as bold. Like, they're so not as bold. They're so good. Your work is great. You are on the right. Set stills, this is cool. This is a perfect way to show set stills. You could probably still narrow this down. I don't think anyone's looking at 70 images from the set stills. So just narrow it down to your best ones. Editorial. Dior. So you only have the one. So I think you should have a commission section. So under commission section, instead of set stills and editorial, replace that with commission. So when you would go commission, now you can see set stills. You can do complex playbook. You can make this look more like a job than it is set stills. If you just take 1, 2, 3, 4, and just under commission, now it says complex playbook. I mean, I think you can turn these into look like jobs more than set stills. Set stills, I don't want to be rude. Set stills is more on the bottom tier. It's like in the same category as wedding photographer. You want to elevate yourself. You're better than this. You want it to look like it's a commissioned work. So you can have some set still stuff here and put Dior right at the top of this commission work, because this is incredible work. Like, so good. I wouldn't cut a single image from here. It's fantastic. Well played. Let's check out the about section. LA based photographer by the way of New York City. Like, all of this is great. You got good press. What happens when I click it? So cool. It would be cool if I could see the exhibits, but not a big deal. Yeah, your website's killer. Just, I feel like you could tighten it a little bit. Other than that, your website's phenomenal. Your work is great. Thank you for following me and contributing to my channel, Bexx. I really appreciate it. All right, Phil Nenna. This is kind of cool, but has a very corporate vibe to it. If that's what you're going for, headshotty corporate vibes, and bang on. If you're trying to elevate to be a bit better, if you're trying to elevate to be a portrait photographer, shoot for magazines, or have your work bought by clients, then I think you need a different splash page. But if your bread and butter is headshots and portraits, then this is the kind of vibe that people looking for headshots want. And in that case, ignore me. I love that it goes right into the images here. No wasted clicks. I like how clean this is. You have a lot of work, I can tell. Editorial. I think you should have a little hover section so you can see it here, so I don't have to go all the way up, all the way down. Non-profits. I don't think you need this stuff. It's cool that you shoot for non-profits, but I think your portrait should just be your main. You just have a lot of work. and there's a lot to go through. I feel like if someone is trying to hire you, they don't need to see all this stuff. Simplify. What are your videos? Let's check one out. Interesting. Not working on your website, but when I click YouTube, it works.
In your hand, and you're gonna take a
Still loading here.
What
Very
you're about
strange.
to do might not be photography. Taking
This is cool. All right, now I'm hooked and I want to go to your YouTube, so you got me. Subscribed. I feel like a lot of this stuff could be simplified. Look at all of this. There's gotta be a way to sift through this. You know, I heard something. Average attention span on the internet is 8.25 seconds. So again to what I was saying. Get it in. There's no way. Oh, snap. Made it on here. Very cool. Yeah, thanks for contributing and being part of the website, but it's a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff, Phil. Almost too much. But again, I mean, this is a separate section under blog, so if this is the place to have all this, this would be it. I just think, let's go back to the beginning. Too much. You do headshots and you do editorials and your work is great. You have great videos. I just think it needs to be simplified. I mean, even if you take this away, this kind of has like a 90s, early 2000 kind of vibe to it. It's not very contemporary or modern. And I think there's just an easier way to impress people with your 20 to 15 best images and then let people dive into all this work. Because you do have great work. Like when I click portfolio, this is a great first image. You have great work. It'd be great if I could see all of this right off the bat. So someone clicks here, those great, because this is not your best stuff, Filippo. This is not your best stuff. You click portraits, this is your best stuff. This is great. So show me this right off the bat. I want people to go philnenna.com and be like, wow, there are some 6 to 8 great portraits right then and there. This kind of sends the wrong message that you're just here to do headshots. You're not. You're here to take great portraits of people, make them look better than you've ever looked, and you're a bit of a lighting wizard. So lead with that. Other than that, that's really my main critique. Just lead with your best. Lead with your best. All right, renderfinity. Last one. Again, this is a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on. I got moving things here, big thing down here. House of colors. Let's see your portfolio. See, this is wedding and pre-wedding, commercial. What do you like to do? I think you should have a mix of all this stuff right at the beginning. Just boom, 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 boom. And then if wedding is a big part of your book online, if wedding is a big part of your, I would love to know how this works. Like, do you get a lot of work from here? Is this, if you're getting one of these bookings a month through here, then I think it's beneficial. If you're getting 3 of these a year, maybe it's beneficial. But how many people are actually doing this? Because I think it's a bit wasted. It could be under contact as well. You could have a book online section right here, but I think you should do portfolio about weddings and contact. Because if weddings are a big part of your annual nut, then I think you should show that off more and cater towards weddings, because weddings is such a big income maker. And then lead with your commercial stuff, which is great. I mean, this is much stronger work than your wedding stuff. We're starting to lose it now, but like if you can do more of this kind of stuff, this very clean Raymond Mier poppy kind of stuff. Let's look at Raymond Mier's website. Look at that. Very simple. I mean, you can do stuff like this when you're working for Marc Jacobs, Glossier, Paper Magazine, and things like that. But look how poppy this guy's website is. And it's just, this stuff kind of just leaps right out at you. And I think if you could lead with that too, like, it sends a different message. But again, it all comes down to, what do you want to shoot? Do you want to shoot wedding stuff first? I just don't think it should be a sales pitch right off the bat. I want people to see your work, love it, and then go, okay, now how can I hire this guy? And this is very cool. If you could do more stuff like this and then start pitching it to dog food companies. I know there's a big demand for pet photography, like Royal Canin dog food. A lot of stuff that was done for Royal Canin, which is like this really fancy dog food. Look how simple and beautiful their photography is. So if you could have that very clean stuff that could be used for packaging like this, rather than the pose stuff, if you could start pushing it and elevating it even higher so you can, start selling it for commercial work, that's how you start to make the money. Oh, this is a collective. I guess that makes sense. House of Colors. About meet the photographers. Where are the photographers? So this doesn't really quite work. I don't see anyone. I'm not really meeting any photographers, so should really fix that. And about and contact could be the same thing. So you could go portfolio. So you go to about, yeah, I think you need to fix this. Oh, our vision. What are the clients saying? So it looks like, yeah, I don't think a coming soon section should ever be on your website. I think you should lose it. And when it's done, then put it up. No point in having coming soon. Nobody's coming back to see what clients are saying. And then I don't think you should have a meet the photographer section. I think this should all be in the same thing. And let me meet those photographers. And it's 2023, so update that or lose it. Just go copyright House of Colors. But yeah, I think you have some work on what is the direction that you want to be doing. What do you want your clients to see? So if this is a collective, let me go to attribute and look at their website for similar artists. Boom, right off the bat. You can see what different artists are, and you're thrown right into the best of the best work. So you want something along those lines. And then you have these, see, they got contact under each of theirs. Fun fact, I shot all of these portraits. Not this one, you can see the odd one out. I love, they tried to fix that. But yeah, try to figure out what you want to do and lead with that best foot. All right, that's all of them. Thank you very much, guys, for paying attention and learning about your portfolio. If you think I am wrong about anything, or you think I could improve on something, or you think I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, leave me a message. My name is Corey Vanderploot at Corey Photo on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much for contributing and letting me nitpick your website. I hope you learned something, and happy shooting.